about hate this phone, but instead I've been surprised in more ways than one. This is the Xiaomi 14. Let's take a look at it together. But first, hi, I'm Captain Awesome. This is Geekception, and I really appreciate if you hit a like and subscribe, as that really helps me a lot on this channel. Let's start with the unboxing. On the front of the box, we have Xiaomi 14 right there. Getting into the box, and I see another box, and inside that box, the first thing I see is a SIM card removal tool. Next, I see the quick start guide, warranty card, and safety information. Then I also see a TPU case, which actually feels nice to the touch. Finally, inside the box, I see the phone itself. And this one is not like the massive 14 Ultra or even the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'll put it to the side for now. And thankfully, Xiaomi, unlike other manufacturers, actually give you the charging cable as well as the charging brick in the box. Now let's take a quick tour around the phone. Now on the front of the display is a 6.1-inch AMOLED display right here. Going on to the right side of the phone, we have the volume and power buttons. Going on to the left side, there are no buttons there at all. Going on to the bottom of the phone, we have the speaker grill, USB Type-C port, as well as a SIM card tray. Going on to the top of the device, and there is nothing there as well. Going on to the back, we can see the massive 3-camera system here, as well as the flash. It comes in this black color here, but I also know there is a green and white color as well. Now the black color I have here actually has this matte feeling to it, and it doesn't really attract a lot of fingerprints, which I like. But on the side of the phone, it definitely attracts a lot of fingerprints, which I do not like. And specs wise, of course, we have 50 megapixel cameras, we have the 4610 milliampere battery, as well as the AMOLED display right here with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. Okay, after getting the unboxing out of the way, here is my setup guide with some of my tips, tricks, and recommended settings for the Xiaomi 14. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go into settings, display and brightness, and I'm going to change the refresh rate from the default, where it automatically adjusts the refresh rate. Instead, I'm going to select custom and change it from 60 Hz to 120 Hz. Now, that is the highest refresh rate supported on this display, and I want to use this phone to the max. Next, I want to change the gestures that I use from the on-screen buttons to the swipe bar from the bottom. So I'm going to go into settings, select home screen, and under other, tap on system navigation and change it from button to gestures. Now, speaking of home screen, since we are already on this, we're going to change a few things here. Now I'm going to go ahead into settings, scroll down and select home screen. Now the first thing I'm going to do is select home screen and change it from classic mode to with app drawer. Go back, tap on swipe down on the home screen and change it to the notification shade and control center. For animation speed, I want to select fast, baby. Now if we go to the home screen, when I swipe down, it will show my notifications. When I swipe on the other side, it will show my control center, and I now have an app drawer, which means I can keep all of my apps nicely organized. Next, display settings. Now we go into settings, scroll down and select display and brightness, and here there are a few settings that I want to change, starting with the color scheme. Now the original one, called Original Color Pro, very smart there Xiaomi, is the default profile here, and I'm going to enable adaptive color so that the display changes according to the light around me. And this is similar to, I think, the iPhone's True Tone setting. I find that this just makes it easier for me to be able to, look at the phone in different environments, and it's not, just blue all the time. And even though technically it's not very color accurate, I'm not doing any color accurate work on my phone anyway. Next, I will go back into the font setting, and usually I select the smallest font possible here, but for the purposes of this video, I will keep it at small, not extra small, so that, you're able to actually follow with this guide. Next, let's do security. Now I'm going to go into settings, go into fingerprints, face data, and screen unlock, and I'm going to set up the fingerprint unlock. Now it has an in-display fingerprint sensor here. I'm going to select my preferred lock method, which is a pin. I'm going to scan my finger to make registrations. Oh my god. Next, I'm going to register another finger and this is security. I truly believe making this phone yours is always something worthy of setting, and we're going to do that right now. So go into settings, about phone, which is right at the top, and select device name, and we're going to name this device the awesome device. Next, let's talk about the first apps that I'm going to install here on the Xiaomi 14, and the first one will definitely have to be Bitwarden, because this is my password manager of choice, and you should be using the password manager. You should not be using your cat's name or your first car or your first house. You should not. Bitwarden is great for this, and it's free too. The next app I'll be installing is Notion, and I use Notion a lot for note taking. I use it for planning everything here on this channel. And yeah, it's definitely my second recommended app here. And a new app I've actually been using much more recently is NextDNS. Now I use it for ad blocking on a system level, and we all know that Xiaomi does not have a great reputation when it comes to ads in the phone that you paid full price for. So yeah, NextDNS is great for blocking ads everywhere on your phone. And lastly, my favorite browser of choice, Kiwi browser. Now I like it because I can, use it to install Chrome extensions on my Android phone, and I definitely have several essential Chrome extensions that I have to have, and it's nice, to be able to use it here with Kiwi browser. Now, after installing all of these apps, the default iPadOS behavior is to actually chuck all of my apps to the home screen. I do not like this. It's very cluttered. It's very messy. It's not giving what I wanted to give. So now to turn this off, you're going to swipe up from the home screen and press on settings and tap turn off place new apps on the home screen. And while you're also here, you can also display your most frequently used apps as well, which I will leave on right here. Next, let's talk cameras, especially the Leica cameras here. Now, opening up the camera for the first time, a pop-up also asks me what style do I prefer. Do I prefer the fresh and vibrant Leica style, or do I like the natural and realistic? And I'm a sucker for, fresh and vibrant, so I'm going to select the Leica vibrant profile. Now, on opening up the camera interface here, there's a prompt to swipe down, and swiping down shows more options available here. And, this is the camera interface of the Xiaomi 14, which is pretty similar to almost all of Xiaomi others' phone. Now, whenever I get a new phone, I always go into the settings, look for the things I can change and change them. So in this case, we're going to be changing the video decoder. Now you select H.265 for more compressed video to save space while still almost retaining the same quality. Turn off auto frame rate to prevent, reducing the frame rate in low light. I don't know why this is turned on. And preserve certain options to keep the previously used mode. And I'm going to turn this on for beautify options and the AI camera as well, so that when you exit the camera app and come back into it, it's going to have the same camera mode that you left it. Now for mirroring preference, I'm going to select average instead of face to ensure that the entire frame is nicely exposed. In video mode, I'm going to go into settings, turn off HDR, as I do not like recording HDR videos on my phone. Those videos where you're watching at 1 a.m. at night and the video is so bright. I do not like that. Next, select 4K 60, which is available on all cameras, the 1x, the 2x, the 3.2x. And in photo mode with, the front camera there, turn off beautify features as they change my skin tone. You might leave it on, but I always turn it off because it just turns me white, man. Like, I'm a black man, please. And that's pretty much all for the camera settings. Now, one thing I forgot was actually changing my font. And since, iPadOS is very similar to the Apple Fruit OS, what I'm going to do is go into the settings, display and brightness. I'm going to scroll down, select font, and I'm going to, look for SF Pro, which is the font used on Apple devices, and I'm going to download it, apply it, and suddenly I have my own iPhone. And finally, the thing I dislike about, Xiaomi devices are all the bloatware apps they always install there. So I'm just going to go into my app drawer and I'm going to uninstall, like Agoda. I don't need Agoda. Okay, setup guide is done. Now moving on to the first impressions. And I'm going to be honest with you, I did not expect to like this phone at all. And, when I held it, it brought me memories of the Mi 4, which was a phone that I really, really, really liked. And I like how compact and comfortable the phone feels, like my S24 Ultra, for example, where that phone is massive. And believe me, I love a massive phone all day, all night, but this just feels more manageable to use. And immediately I got this Xiaomi 14, my screen time shot up the roof because I just couldn't put it down. Like, that is how nice it felt in my hand. Now, in my first few days with this phone, some things I've definitely observed is, the camera here is pretty decent. Now, it's not the same camera on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which is a 1-inch sensor camera, but it still holds its own. And I've been impressed with some of the photos, which you are seeing on screen right now, that I've been able to take on the Xiaomi 14. I also noticed here that the fingerprint scanner can be a bit slow, and also launching the camera with the volume buttons can also sometimes be a hit or miss. I will update you in the long run if this still continues in the long term. Now, concluding this unboxing and setup guide, I would definitely say that, the Xiaomi 14 here, which I think here in Malaysia retails for 3,300 Malaysian ringgit, is, it's a surprising one. I got this phone and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, just check it out and see if, there's still something interesting about it. I'm getting it super late, so it's not like as if, anybody cares right now. But immediately I held it, I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, I did not believe this. So yeah, I'm definitely being, a hater turned into a believer with the Xiaomi 14. And I kind of wish that we have the 1-inch sensor here. It would totally be a buy for me, insta buy for me if we had that 1-inch sensor here. But yes, that has been it for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you have any requests. Right now, there's not a lot of like hype for this anymore, so I really want super specific requests and I'll try my best to be able to get to them. But yeah, a huge thank you to you for watching. And if you like what I've done here, hit the like, it's free. Hit subscribe, that is also free. And if you have some spare change and you want to buy me a coffee, you want to buy me lunch, there are links down there in the description. There are YouTube memberships as well. If you want to support me over the long term, that would really be a lot for me. I do this full time. I really put a lot of effort into this, and I would really appreciate it. It will go a long way for me. But yes, that has been it for this video. Take care of yourself. Text me when you get home so I know you got home safe. I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to stay awesome. Bye.